Hello. I'm going to talk about mastering the sign of Gemini, which is, really quite interesting here. It's really quite interesting. To master Gemini is to learn to not have to look at every little detail of something. Okay. In order to find out the truth, in order to necessarily prove the truth. It's less about the day to day and the process of the day to day, and more about the vision, the bigger picture. Like, okay, because I know you guys are probably like, okay, well, what does that look like? Geminis have to learn and actually comprehend what their vision is. Like when they incarnate here on earth. Okay, because usually their thing is teaching and, unveiling truths and really being about information. Really been in the headspace. Okay, and this can really, a lot of people don't understand this. A lot of people don't understand this, and they won't understand this unless they deal with like significant energy, like Gemini energy in their chart or whatever. And what I mean about this is like a lot of people don't understand the amount of head space Geminis find themselves in. I mean, like Geminis can literally live out an event in their head, and they will play the event over and over and over again. And like a recorder in their head, they compartmentalize information. Like there's a drawer. It's like a mental filing cabinet. People don't understand this. They're not aware of this because it's not talked about. It's not communicated. It's not expressed. When the only time you see it being expressed is like when you see a Gemini in action, or you just really get to know them and where they're talking, and you get to know them to where you're like, oh my God, discovering stuff about them. Like it goes deep, everything that they can be into and learning about, right? So there's a filing system to file all of that away. And Geminis go to that filing system like on a daily basis, whenever they need it, and they pull that information out. And what happens is they try to utilize all the information, making them indecisive, making them spend longer time in their heads and less time about action. Okay. All along, like missing significant things, like in partnership, relationship, the real time, being in real time in life with, and just being present, right, in life, like right now, in the here and the now, being present in that. Gemini ends up doing most of its time observing and analyzing the data of what they're observing, which is powerful and is strong, by the way, but to look at and identify the vision, which is the purpose, defining what your purpose is. Because it's a difference from defining what your purpose is, but then just having a file cabinet of data to where you're utilizing at any given time as you need to, and it's, starts to be confusing because you're multitasking, you get all this stuff going on here. It's like, okay, fine, use that to your advantage, but then at the same time, there's confusion sets in, and then you're just all over the place. When you need the significance of that vision is how you know your purpose and how you develop that purpose in order to really complete that vision. Like, what does that look like? Gemini, you need to look at what does the overall picture look like. What does it look like? Okay, what does it look like? Fine, have your other information, but at the same time, what are you utilizing to reach that picture? Okay, what is the overall picture? Because even if you have the information, said information, even if you have the compartments and, this or that, however you want to put it, I'm going losing my thoughts. Even if you have that, how can you channel it to that bigger vision, to that picture, how can you channel it to your purpose, to the vision for that picture? How do you channel that information to that picture, And it can look like a multitude of things, but how when you check back to your vision and your purpose, that information, the thought process, like what you're doing, the activities all lead to that vision, to that purpose, to your purpose. Now your information becomes a message, becomes a prophecy, not debating, tit for tat, like not debating the information, but it's a prophecy, because a prophecy is more about the vision. The prophecy is, I'm confident in this knowing. For what? Like, it develops Gemini. And Gemini starts living more in the moment, starts being present in their life, starts being present in the moment. They're not missing or just the observer. Now they are the participator. Because it's one thing to observe and analyze, and even to sometimes even teach what it is that you analyze. It's one thing to do that, but then it's a whole completely different thing, right? To live it out, to be part of that experience, to be connected to that in what you're teaching people, and to be, relatable in a sense to where what other people are experiencing because maybe you experienced it, or maybe even if you didn't experience it, there's some type of empathy with what the next person experienced. And I'm not saying that Geminis can't have empathy. I'm not saying that at all. But sometimes the reaction from being the observer and the reaction time to being in the moment of that you're observing is two different things. It's kind of like me, like you guys watching me right now in the video. You seeing something happening to me, but you really can't reach me to protect me from it or to stop it. You're observing it, and then you think like, dang, like, is anybody gonna help her? Oh, let me get the phone and call. Where does she live again? It's like, it's two different experiences. Okay. So what happens? Gemini still will deal with partnerships, still will deal with relationships, but it ends up, because the more you can focus on the vision, remember, the more the less you're compartmentalizing all these things. Or if you do compartmentalize them, you understand that, it's just that, it's just a system, it's just information, it just is what it is, but it's not utilized for anything, right? But what happens is, it helps Gemini live a more fulfilled life, because it becomes less about trying to put this information or whatever to use, or, well, what am I going to do this? We're going to do that. I got to do something with it, and more about channeling that purpose, and this could even put Geminis, like a lot of Geminis, in a place to where they even a lot of times focus more on information that is about their purpose, more than anything. And cuts down on confusion, and it cuts down on you know, there's still going to be an indecisive nature, you know, in a sense, but it puts you more in the experience. So now you're leading more fulfilling partnerships, business, love. Okay. Now people are even understanding a lot of what your message is about, what your purpose is about, because they get it. You know, it's you're fulfilled, you're fulfilling a purpose. Okay. And therefore you're enriching the lives of others. This is attractive. You know, Geminis become extremely attractive because of this, because you're attracting in on a vibrational level, you're attracting in love, you're attracting in partnerships, you're attracting in money, you know, because you become this work of art. Gemini's goal is to become a work of art, you know, with beauty, talent, creation, but not just doing it, not from a place to where you are just that, but because it's like you're exuding that, because you feel it. You feel it. It's true to you. It's what you identify yourself with. It's like, well, whatever piece of art you're doing, whatever piece of music you're orchestrating, whatever you're doing, whatever relationship you're in, you are feeling it. You are vibrating that. Like you are that. You become those things, and then other people feel it, connect with it, heal from it. Because remember, the higher octave of a Gemini, or being Mercury ruled, is being ruled by Venus. Venus. So, yes, there is a component about Geminis that, you know, you're less about your emotions all the way around, but it's about being fair. Okay? Bringing in and reigning in justice from the truth. You know, it becomes a point to where, like, a Gemini masters itself. It's the truth, that the amount of truth that it can bring in and shedding awareness on the situation, shedding light on the situation, like, is the ultimate justice. You know, that, you know, to bring in for the universe. You become balanced, and you can become whole. And you have a lot of partners, by the way, doing things for you. You know, your partner, when I say partners, it could be in business too, but you will have things aligned for you. So a Gemini that masters itself is sheer beauty and a magnet. A magnet for justice, a magnet for art, a magnet for relationships, a magnet for love, because people see you as love. Like, they see you as like wow. Because you're now fulfilling a purpose. You are in the experience, like enjoying it. And vibrating that. And the most craziest thing, you know, the interesting thing is, a Gemini that masters itself is one that masters the art of gaining resources. I won't just say money, because I don't want, you know, I know a lot of Geminis get this stigma of being superficial and of being about just money, you know, but that's what it's about too, in mastering that, because what happens is everybody knows this. A person that becomes like uplifted, that has access to unlimited amounts of resources, or just the right connections and stuff like that, becomes the people that others look up to, and becomes the people that people go to, and becomes like the blueprint that people follow. Why? Because they want to look good. They want to know what's the trick. What are you doing? Because they want to learn. Because they want to be empowered. Because they want to know more. Because they want to grow. because they want to attract the resources. They want that type of lifestyle. So it's kind of like, what did you do to get here? And this is when the universe uses the Gemini that mastered itself to teach the people, especially now more than ever. You know, been in this new age and all. Okay. Mastering the sign of Gemini. I'm butterfly to light. You know I'll be back.